Imagine waking up every day with the memories of a murderer. In Junji Ito's Slumber, the lines between dreams and reality blur, leading to a psychological nightmare that will haunt you long after you turn the final page. Let's talk about Slumber by Junji Ito. This isn't just any horror manga. Junji Ito, the genius behind Uzumaki and Tomi, has crafted something truly disturbing with Slumber. This story grips you from the very first page and doesn't let go. It dives into the mind of Takuya Terada, a man haunted by the memories of a serial killer every time he wakes up. Just imagine waking up every day with the horrors of someone else's crimes replaying in your mind. Ito is known for his ability to mix grotesque imagery with psychological horror, but Slumber takes it to a whole new level. It's not just about the fear of the unknown. It's about the fear of your own mind turning against you. This manga is considered a forbidden read because it doesn't just scare you, it makes you question your own reality. It's the kind of story that sticks with you, creeping into your thoughts long after you've turned the last page. The plot of Slumber revolves around Takuya Terada, a man who experiences the memories of a serial killer named Ryoji Gobara every time he wakes up. These memories are vivid, gruesome, and utterly inescapable. Takuya is tormented by the thought that he might actually be the killer, struggling to separate his own identity from the horrors that plague his sleep. The key elements here are the interplay between reality and nightmare, identity and madness. Junji Ito masterfully blurs the lines, keeping readers on edge as they navigate Takuya's fractured mind. Now, let's talk about the psychological horror in Slumber. Unlike typical jump scares or gore, psychological horror gets under your skin. It uses Takuya's internal struggle to explore themes of guilt, fear, and the loss of control. The horror is deeply personal. Takuya's fear that he might be the killer eats away at his sanity, creating a palpable sense of dread. This isn't just a story about a man haunted by memories. It's about the terror of not knowing who you are or what you're capable of. Ito's art amplifies this with his signature style, distorted faces, shadowy figures, and surreal landscapes that make the nightmare feel all too real. So, how does Slumber fit into Junji Ito's broader body of work? Ito is renowned for his ability to tap into primal fears. Uzumaki explored the horror of obsession. Tomi delved into the fear of the uncanny, and the enigma of Amigara fault preyed on claustrophobia and compulsion. In Slumber, Ito continues this exploration, but with a focus on the fragility of the human mind. The manga is a testament to his ability to innovate within the horror genre, using psychological terror to create an experience. It's both terrifying and thought-provoking. It's a reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones lurking inside our own minds. Let's take a closer look at Slumber and summarize the story while highlighting some key panels that show Junji Ito's mastery of horror. The story begins with Takuya Terada, who starts experiencing vivid and horrifying memories of a serial killer named Ryoji Gobara. These memories plague him every time he wakes up, making him question his own sanity and identity. Takuya is tormented by these intrusive thoughts and begins to fear that he might be responsible for the murders. The fear and confusion are palpable as he receives a phone call that could unravel his life. As Takuya's reality blurs with his nightmares, he notices unsettling changes in his apartment. Papers taped to the mirror, items misplaced. This further blurs the line between reality and nightmare, heightening his sense of dread. Desperate and terrified, Takuya confides in his friend Kanami. She suggests setting up a camera to record his actions at night, hoping to find some clarity in the chaos. They set up the camera, and the footage reveals Takuya's nightly activities. However, the recordings only deepen the mystery and fear as Takuya continues to doubt his own innocence. One night, Takuya believes he has attacked Kanami in his sleep, only to discover that she survived and identified the real killer. This twist reveals that Ryoji Gobara, the true murderer, has been manipulating Takuya's memories. Despite this revelation, Takuya continues to receive Gobara's memories, even experiencing the murderer's execution. The chilling depiction of these memories shows the deep psychological impact on Takuya. The story concludes with Takuya meeting Kanami by the waterfront. Though physically and emotionally scarred, they share a moment of understanding. Takuya still grapples with the remnants of Gobara's memories, and the haunting final image of his face, eerily transformed, encapsulates the psychological horror that defines Slumber. These panels exemplify Junji Ito's mastery in blending psychological horror with compelling visuals. Every detail, from the characters' expressions to the use of light and shadow, works together to create a deeply unsettling experience. Slumber is not just a horror story, it's a profound exploration of identity, guilt, and the fragility of the human mind. Now, let's talk about something that's come up with some readers. Junji Ito's work, including Slumber, can be really disturbing. Some people feel that his stories are just too intense, too nightmarish. They argue that the relentless horror and graphic imagery can be overwhelming, even gratuitous at times. I get where they're coming from. Slumber, like much of Ito's work, doesn't shy away from showing the darker sides of the human psyche and the grotesque aspects of horror. It can definitely be a lot to handle. But here's the other side of the coin. What makes Ito's work stand out isn't just the shock factor, it's the psychological depth he brings to his stories. Slumber isn't just about scaring you, it's about exploring themes of identity, guilt, and the fragility of the mind. It's this deeper narrative that hooks many readers, making the horror more than just superficial scares. So, if you find yourself put off by the intensity, remember that there's a rich, thought-provoking story beneath the surface. It's like having a really intense conversation with a friend about their deepest fears. It's unsettling, but also incredibly revealing and engaging. That's the magic of Junji Ito's work. So, despite its forbidding reputation, there's an undeniable allure to Slumber. Junji Ito weaves a tale that's not just about scaring you, it's about making you think, feel, and question. The horror isn't just in the grotesque images, it's in the psychological depths, the way the story lingers in your mind long after you've turned the last page. Readers who dare to dive into Slumber often come away with a new appreciation for the horror genre. It's a manga that challenges you, pushes your boundaries, and leaves you contemplating the shadows of the human psyche. So, next time you're looking for a read that's more than just a simple scare, think about picking up Slumber. It's not just a manga, it's an experience. And remember, sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones that lurk within our own minds. Sweet dreams.